Did Pandemic Studios' last game go out with a bang, or was it just a dud? William Grover Williams was a British Grand Prix racer. He was also an agent for the British Special Operations Executive, and he ran a bar as a cover. He conducted espionage, sabotage, and reconnaissance in Germany-occupied France. And the Saboteur is loosely based on him, except you're Sean Devlin, an Irishman. And the Saboteur was the last game Pandemic ever made. Pandemic was the studio behind a lot of really big games like Star Wars Battlefront, Mercenaries, and Destroy All Humans. They got bought by EA in 2008, 1 year before EA started downsizing, and due to some underperforming titles, Pandemic Studios got closed. The studio was shut down before the game was even finished, so the remaining 35 employees got absorbed into EA Los Angeles to finish the game. Saboteur is an open-world game that takes place in Germany-occupied France during World War II, and it's basically Assassin's Creed meets Grand Theft Auto, but Assassin's Creed 1 when the climbing still sucked. For some reason, the devs decided that you have to keep mashing the A button to climb from spot to spot, and being an open-world World War II video game, it has all the things you would come to expect. You make your way around the city, gunning and dynamiting areas to free them, have a map full of icons to check off, and at some point you're gonna destroy a Zeppelin. And the game does this kind of interesting thing in areas that are still controlled by Germany. The game's in mostly black and white with some reds and yellows for accent, but when you liberate an area, it becomes full color, which actually led to this one weird moment where I was driving through a tunnel, and when I entered the tunnel, everything was in black and white, and when I exited the tunnel, everything was in color, and it reminded me of that scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when the detective first enters Toontown. And being an open world game, you have a bunch of contacts who give you a bunch of missions. Unfortunately, those missions pretty much boil down to kill a guy, get a thing, or destroy a thing. And you'll spend about half your time driving to and from those missions because for some reason the game has this weird habit of giving you missions and contacts that are on the other side of the map. In fact, I stopped even recording between missions after the first hour, which massively cut down on my editing time. And there is no fast travel system because part of the gameplay is there are checkpoints set up throughout the map that you either need to get papers to pass through, which happens later in the story, or you have to figure out some way to get around them, or what I eventually started doing was just driving straight through them. The Germans get upset, but not for very long, and it's pretty easy to lose them anyway. Actually, in a lot of the game, trying to be sneaky and go around bad guys or go around hazards kind of becomes pointless pretty quick. It seems like the game encourages you to be stealthy. There are disguises and there are side entrances and there are stealth takedowns, but inevitably in every mission something happens and you end up just having to murder everybody anyway. Take this one mission where I had to free some prisoners. So I get a disguise, I sneak around, I stealth kill all the guards, I open up the cage, and immediately all of the alarms go off. Every soldier in the area immediately starts shooting at me, and I get a new objective. I have to open 3 more cages. If I had known that, I would have just gone in guns blazing from the beginning. So to be honest, that's how most of my stealthy gameplay goes when I play a lot of games. I start out trying to be stealthy and then I screw it up and then I just murder everyone in sight. But frankly, this game has a lot in common with a bunch of other games. Far Cry, Mercenaries, pick any modern Ubisoft game. Hell, even Red Dead Redemption. You spend half your time just traveling to wherever you gotta be to do the thing you gotta do. Fortunately, I think a lot of devs figure that out, which is why fast travel is almost standard in most games. But considering the game Saboteur is, I can see why they didn't put fast travel in there. Getting through checkpoints is sort of part of the gameplay. But you know what? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Do you think Saboteur would have been better with more modern gaming conventions? Unfortunately for Pandemic, Saboteur was kind of a flop. It reviewed okay, but sales underperformed. Because Pandemic closed before it was released, it got no support, no bug fixes, no updates, nothing. It also got released into a very overcrowded market. But it had a concept I really kind of liked. The whole changing black and white into color thing was cool. I thought the connection to actual history was interesting. And when I saw other streamers play it, it looked like fun. But when I actually sat down to play it myself, it's really only fun in small doses. There's way too much travel and the repetitive missions kind of grind you down. Now, because I had a video to make, I did only go through the story. There's a bunch of side missions and side activities that you can do. And if you're a completionist, You might really like just clearing the map of all of its icons. I just wonder what this game could have been if Pandemic could have given it its full support. Pandemic was a good studio. They had a lot of really fun and entertaining titles, a lot of really great games that I enjoyed. I wish I could have seen what the Saboteur would have been if they didn't get cut down so soon. See you next time.